just didn't work out. 45% of Australians rent, and as house prices continue to rise, that number is surely set to grow. Now, the rental feedback website Don't Rent Me has rated the worst suburbs for renting in Australia in a bid to raise standards across the sector. Founder Anthony Zibel is the first to admit, though, that his website has got a few agents offside.
The worst suburb for Australian renting is currently Southport in Queensland.
How did you come up with that conclusion?
So what we did is we actually sampled the entire country of reviews that are left by our users. What we find is that if there's a particular suburb that stands out amongst the others as having quite a number of reviews compared to others, that obviously puts them into a top list, and then we sort that by the number of reviews in those suburbs.
Hardly the most rigorous methodology, though.
It's not a rigorous methodology. However, it is just data that we're publishing. We don't necessarily claim to say that that's a bad suburb or necessarily worse. We just report how many reviews we get per suburb, and I guess the people in that suburb feel maybe more liberated, perhaps, or to come on the website and actually leave a review.
But is it fair to blacklist an entire suburb when there would surely be some great agents and landlords there? A lot of prospective renters would be put off moving to an area based on your findings.
Well, look, absolutely. I'm sure there are great agents in those suburbs, and I think what's important to make a clear distinction here is that we're not actually publishing that a suburb in particular is blacklisted or bad. We're reporting how many reviews of a negative nature are received per suburb. But in saying that, that does not mean every agent in that suburb is bad or every landlord in that suburb is bad either. It just means that quite a number of people in those suburbs have had an experience that they'd like to share on our website.
But it's human nature to be a little bit more inclined to leave a review based on a negative experience compared to a positive experience. Is that what you're finding?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably true. A lot of people would, I think people are generally more inclined to speak out when they've had a poor experience rather than a positive one. But I think one of the aims of the website, and I think this is what people will find over time, is our goal is to actually place good tenants with good landlords and good property managers. And we will actually highlight those who excel in not having a bad reputation on the website. And so we're really going to help make that happen.
I understand, though, that you have had some pushback from agents who are angry about their organisations being named. What has been your response to these agencies?
Well, my response to these agencies is that our users abide by the terms and conditions on our website, and we do moderate the reviews that come in. What that means is that we don't allow people to personally identify by name the landlord or the property manager, for example, and they're supposed to only name the group or will refer to the landlord as, say, the landlord. So what I say to those people who are upset is that I don't believe they're breaking any laws. Everyone does have a right to review their experience, whether that be at a hotel, a restaurant, or their rental. And for those agents who are upset, I implore them to actually maybe try and resolve the situation. And if they do that and the tenant lets us know that the situation's been resolved as well, we actually update the review to say how it's been resolved and that it is resolved. And that looks really good. So
you're of the belief that this site could actually lead to better standards?
Absolutely.
Better outcomes?
Absolutely, and that is our goal.
Anthony Zibel, founder of the website Don't Rent Me. Good